Man, today's not my day, man. So, like, how am I gonna pay for a new pair of glasses?
Well, can't you just have, like, your family send you some money or something, you know, to buy another pair?
Maybe. I don't know. Like, you don't understand, I have really bad eyesight. And I won't be able to see anything in my classes, and... Well, for some reason, everyone in my family has really bad eyesight, and I don't know why.
Really? Everybody?
Yeah, everybody, like me and my brother and my mom and dad. Like, they even met each other in optometrist's office. Man, and I don't know why. Probably we just ate something wrong when we were babies. Something like that. I don't know.
What about your grandparents? Your like aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff?
It's not as bad for them. Like, only some have really bad eyesight, but not like our families, like where everyone has really bad eyesight.
Gene, I think I know what your problem is.
What?
Yeah. I think you have an inheritance problem.
I don't understand, man.
It means that it runs in your family. Bad eyesight runs in your family, like your mom and your dad. Boom. That's why you guys all have bad eyesight.
Well, tell me about it.
I will. All right, let's go to my apartment. I'll explain.
Okay, let's go. Okay, man, my glasses. Alright, I'm ready. Go.
Okay, inheritance. Inheritance is the way in which genes and traits are passed down from one generation to another. There are usually two genes. One comes from your mother, one comes from your father. That's why you will look like a mixture of the two. Usually one of them will be dominant, the other one will be recessive. And does that make sense?
Yeah. My mom says my dad is very dominant.
Yeah, that's not quite what I was trying to describe. Well, okay, let's start out with a story of the guy who discovered the way that inheritance is made. His name is Gregor Mendel. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't think so. Oh, wait. I know, didn't he write that song with Snoop Dogg or something? Yeah, I know what it is. Well, he's a rapper, isn't he? It goes like, something like this.
No, that wasn't quite what No, that is a good song. Okay, so Mendel's story begins 100+ years ago, before the Civil War in America begins. He was an Austrian monk who lived a quiet life doing, well, whatever monks do, I guess. I don't know. However, he wasn't always a member of the clergy. When he was a boy, he was taught how to garden and gained a great love for it. That passion stayed with him throughout his life, up into his later years. During his monastic life, with plenty of times on his hands, I can only imagine, he began to experiment with breeding pea plants in order to understand how to mix and create their offspring.
Wow, he must have been really lonely, huh?
Yeah, I could see that. But anyway, The practice of breeding and crossing breeds was nothing new. Europeans had been breeding dogs for centuries. But nobody completely understood how the process worked exactly. They just knew that if two breeds were crossed enough times, you'd get the desired result. Mendel, however, was the perfect storm. He noticed that each pea plant varied in different ways. Some had smooth seeds and others had wrinkled seeds. Some seeds were green while others were, say, yellow. Some plants were tall, some were short. Each of these variations we call traits. What Mendel did to try and control the outcome was round up plants with the same traits, cross the two plants through breeding, and then would observe the traits. In one of Mendel's first experiments with his pea plants, he crossed a tall plant with a small one. The first generation produced all tall plants. The common guess might have been that the offspring would be half and half, but they weren't. Mendel was one determined monk, and he decided that he would take these offspring pea plants and instead of crossing them with another plant, he would allow them to self-fertilize because plants are cool like that, you can do that. But the results of the second generation were as confusing as the first generation. Instead of producing all tall plants, like he might have guessed, they produced 3/4 tall plants and 1/4 small.
So wait. Can we draw this out or something? I can picture this.
Yeah, okay. Here, let's do this. Okay. So he crosses, you have a small plant, and then tall plant. So he crosses them, boom. They produce 4 tall plants. This is confusing because he figured that it would be too small and too tall. So he crosses these guys just by themselves each time. So they just self-fertilize. And then they give him 3 talls and 1 small, each of them. So there, it went from being 100% tall to being self-fertilized, and it is now 3/4 tall, 1/4 small. And that just didn't make any sense.
Okay, well, I can see this now, but how could tall plants produce small plants by breeding with themselves?
That's exactly what Mendel wanted to know. It didn't make any sense. He spent an entire decade of his life crossing, observing, and recording all these different crosses of some 28,000 different pea plants. Yeah, that's like a lot. But he finally came to his answer. And you know what it is? Invisible factors.
He discovered something invisible?
Well, invisible to the naked eye. Mendel thought that they probably must exist in our body, you know, somewhere. We just can't see them. He didn't know what to call these invisible powers, so he just said invisible factors. But today we call them genes.
Oh yeah, I've heard that word before. So our I think genes are in our DNA, right?
Yes, that is right. Genes, they're in our DNA. You see, our body is just made up of like million, billion, trillions of cells just zooming around all throughout our blood, working for the man or woman. And inside every cell is a nucleus. And inside every nucleus is packaged DNA, or unpackaged, depending upon the state it's in. But that doesn't work. Doesn't matter. And inside every strand of DNA are different links of genes. And those genes determine our traits. Why I have brown hair and brown eyes, or why you have black hair and brown skin.